Good evening and thanks for joining us here for KGW News at 5. I'm Brittany Fulgers, and we begin tonight in southeast Portland, where an officer shot and killed a man early this morning. Police say it started as a domestic violence incident and that the man had a gun and fired a shot first. Crystal Kumwe talked to witnesses, one who caught the deadly shooting on camera. And we want to warn you, the video is graphic and may be disturbing to viewers.
Behind these steps right here. And the officers were right here.
Christopher Ponte was here on the sidewalk at the corner of Southeast 148th Avenue and Clinton Street just after midnight early Sunday morning.
Well, I was driving up here, up 148th, and we were cop watching. We call it cop watching, filming the police. And we just happened to be behind a cop when he turned his lights and sirens on.
Portland police says officers responded to reports of a man and woman in a physical fight in that area.
So they pulled up to right here and they approached the man and the woman, and they went to start detaining the guy or something.
That's when Christopher pulled out his cell phone and started recording just feet away from the officers.
Step back.
The video shows two officers approach the man and try to take him into custody. The man struggles with officers before they fall to the ground and grapple with each other. A gunshot can be heard on the video, and it appears the man has a gun in his hand here.
I seen the gun come up, it fired, the cop was like this, I don't know if he had his hand on it yet or not, but he got it away from him.
In the video, it looks like the officer on top of the man managed to get the gun away from him. After the first initial gunshot, the other officer can be seen firing their weapon at the suspect.
Back the gun or something, or maybe there wasn't even one in the chamber, and then she just boom, 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 boom.
Once the officer fires their weapon, 6 total shots are heard on the video. The man, who has not been identified, died at the scene. The woman then runs to his side.
I just heard shots, and then I started hearing somebody screaming, so I ran out the door to see what was going on, and the cops were really fast here. I mean, hundreds of cops, it seemed like.
Kathy McCoog lives in apartments right next to where the shooting happened. She's lived here for 15 years.
It's so scary now. It never has been like this.
The PPB homicide unit is investigating the case. Investigators spent the morning collecting evidence and interviewing witnesses. Christopher says police now have a copy of his video.
I'm used to filming the police, but this is my first actual catching officer-involved shooting. I've been filming for 10 years, and this is the first time I caught that. It was pretty shocking.
Crystal Kumwe, KGW News.
Portland police are investigating a shooting that happened early Saturday morning in northeast Portland. It happened on Northeast 22nd Avenue just after midnight. Officers say they found a man a few blocks away who had been shot in the arm. A person living nearby called police and said he shot the man after he entered his home. Meanwhile, the man who was shot is expected to be okay. Police want anyone with information to give them a call. And Portland police officer and an elderly woman are in the hospital after an early morning hit and run today. Public Safety Support Specialists, or PS3, were the first to respond to the stolen vehicle call on Southeast Powell Boulevard. It happened just after 8:30 a.m. when police arrived. A suspect got into the vehicle, a blue pickup truck, and tried to flee. In doing so, the suspect hit the officer with the stolen car and another vehicle with 2 people inside. The officer and a passenger in that other vehicle were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay. Other officers involved found that stolen vehicle, but the suspect got away and police are still searching. Anyone with information about this incident should contact police. Well, we're of course getting ready for a stretch of hot heat. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri here to tell us all about it. And Joe, it starts tomorrow, and you're saying this could last through the end of the month.
Exactly right. Models aren't showing much of a cool down over the next few days. And Brittany, there's a chance we not only see some of the hottest temperatures so far this year in summer, but there's a chance we're looking at temperatures close to 100 degrees tomorrow all the way into Thursday. So that could mean a 4-day stretch of some serious heat. Even if we don't get close to 100 degrees, it is going to be downright hot across the state. The only relief we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days will be along the Oregon coast, where you're not going to be under any watches or warnings. But all the watches and warnings will be inland. You can see this kind of pink color. That is the excessive heat warning that will be in effect starting tomorrow. Stays in effect until Thursday night. It could get extended, but for the most part, we are going to be looking at watches and warnings up and down the I-5 corridor and throughout much of the state. This orange color you see throughout parts of southwest Washington and along the Coast Range is a heat advisory that will be in place and that more red color you see throughout the central and eastern side of the state is an excessive heat watch. Temperatures over in that side of the state, over in Bend and Redmond, anywhere from the upper 90s to the low 100s over the next couple of days. So here's a look at what I'm forecasting the next 3 days as our heat wave gets underway. Tomorrow, we're going to be seeing temperatures right around the upper 90s. I'm forecasting a high of 98. When I say 98, we could easily see temperatures spill into close to 100 degrees in many locations. Tuesday is our best shot at seeing 100 degrees, which would be the first time so far this summer. And looking into Wednesday, record is 103. I don't think we go above 101 in many locations for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Regardless, it is going to be downright hot over the next couple of days. And like I said, the places you can find some relief will be along the Oregon coast. You're seeing a temperature over in Cannon Beach right now, Brittany, of 65 degrees. Tomorrow, it will be right around the mid 70s. But again, I am also tracking the threat of some thunderstorms in a few locations later on this week. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. And with the heat on the way, communities are opening up cooling shelters and they're warning people to check on their neighbors. Today, Multnomah County and the city of Portland issued emergency declarations in anticipation of this potentially dangerous hot weather. Those cooling shelters will open throughout Multnomah County as soon as Tuesday. Community organizations will also be doing their part to help community members most vulnerable during extreme heat. On top of their regular meal services, Portland's Blanchet House in Old Town will be extra vigilant this week, offering water, clean shirts, and hygiene kits to people experiencing homelessness.
It's very dangerous for the people that we serve, and so we're going to be pushing out a lot of water. We'll fill up wagons with cold water and we'll walk around the neighborhood and do welfare checks on people.
We've seen the devastating impact that the heat can have on our vulnerable populations before. Dozens of Oregonians died during last summer's June heat dome. Nearly 80% of those people were 60 and older, and more than 70% lived alone. So it's so important, folks. Check on your neighbors frequently until that heat wave ends and make a plan to give them breaks from the heat. There are cooling shelters in Multnomah, Clackamas, Washington, and Clark counties. We have a growing list for you on KGW.com. You can also find a cooling shelter or transportation to a cooling space near you by calling 211. And while it's warming up this upcoming week, this weekend did bring out some perfect weather for a bike ride, but not just any race. It was the 2022 Vancouver Centenarium, and the race brought some of the best cyclists from all across Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. The course began at the Clark County Courthouse and looped around 5 city blocks. During the race, cyclists try to make as many laps as possible before the time runs out. And when the end of the race is near, racers sprint for the finish line.
We like to think it's for fun. The elite men and women that will be racing later this afternoon, they will be racing for money. There's a higher payout for that racing group.
And the race is all for a good cause. Proceeds will be donated to the Children's Cancer Association and the Police Activities League, which provides summer camps and opportunities for recreational, mentoring, and academic-oriented activities.